We have had some technical problems.
Hit it! You are connected to Ace TJ 5G. Ace TJ, Riggins, Alexis, Tech D-Rob. Live from the Calatrend Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
An OnlyFans account. Do we have that set up yet?
We need it. Well, I don't know.
On the
We only need it if it makes money.
Podcast. Every single OnlyFans account, Ace, makes millions a month.
And everybody,
we ever hear about.
Everybody's in the top 1% or 0.03% or whatever it is.
Yep.
That's it. I'm not posing for any OnlyFans. Not in my current shape.
Well, I'm supposed to be the narrator.
You're just gonna narrate the whole thing?
Yeah. So.
Well,
that's all.
Ace, you're up.
Well, hey,
Alexis?
again, if it would make us some money, I would gladly do it. I'm sorry, take it back. I wouldn't gladly do it. I would do it.
Because I'm thinking that Rob is going to be the ticket.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Ladies just all kinds of thirsty for some Rob.
Well,
internet.
It worked because when Rob gets home, he already starts stripping down. So there's kind of a natural flow to it every day for Rob.
Sure.
You know, he's always told us the first thing he does is get down to his T-shirt and his underwear. First things first when he walks in the door every day. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We just need to see what's in them drawers.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
And we learned an interesting fact. We didn't learn this. We'd heard it before. But in about 30 minutes, something that Rob told us the other night was confirmed by his girlfriend, Meredith. And it's, I don't know. Some would say it's embarrassing that Rob is the way he is.
That was a wild conversation between those two.
Others would say not. But, yeah, at the live show Friday night, Rob and Meredith, there was a little back and forth over household chores. It was great. So that's coming up in about 30 minutes, in case you missed it.
A little bit of chirping.
Are you having microphone problems over there, TJ?
No, I'm just kind of readjusting things. Riggins sat in my spot while I was gone.
Well, and we took the microphone off to do the thing the other night, too. So Rob just put it back on about 10 minutes ago.
Well, then he didn't do it right.
Might as well go home for the day.
No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
Let's see what's trending.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
We're going to talk about the best kind of people, rich people, here in just a second, because they are the best of the best. But first, it is National Solitaire Day. It's the official game of using the bathroom and sitting there on your phone playing a little bit of solitaire. Nothing like it. Until iPads rolled around and Nintendo Switches. I feel like solitaire really took a hit once all those things became available. Didn't you do that? Sit on the toilet, play solitaire on your phone?
Still do.
Yeah, you still play solitaire?
Yeah.
It's easy. It's fun.
And it always reminds me of my grandfather. It's one of the first things my grandfather taught me. He said, all right, here's how you play. And he taught me some card games, but that was one of the first ones that he taught me. So, yeah, it never goes out of style.
I have a big cutting board, though. I only use real cards, and I take that into the bathroom with me. Put it on my lap.
Cutting. Sure.
It's like
Deal them out.
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Beyonce were a big story this weekend because it was revealed they purchased a $200 million mansion in Malibu in cash, $200 million. I believe it's the most expensive home ever sold in the United States. And so what does $200 million get you? Based on the pictures, an ugly house. I'm sorry. It's $200 million. It's designed by one of the most world-renowned architects ever, owned by an art collector. And it is ugly as sin. I mean, it looks like an assassin lives here. It's all flat concrete, cold, sterile. Just doesn't look like where you would want to raise a family. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
No, it totally makes sense.
And it's in California.
Well, it's Malibu.
Ugh.
Malibu's nice, right?
No, the whole state is just a complete disaster area.
Well, they're on the beach. I mean, they got a nice water view. You would like that.
Not in California.
Not in California. There's like rocks in the yard with huge chairs. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. It's an odd looking house.
One of those where you end up looking at it going, 200. So they pay $200 million for that. I don't get it.
But good for them.
Yeah, I mean,
for being able to carry that, what do you call it, that record
Yeah.
in the world.
Sure, absolutely. And then something Alexis put me on a few months ago, there's this guy named Jay Shetty. He does a very popular podcast where he invites on celebrities, well-known people, and they talk about mental health and ways to take care of yourself and stuff like that. But turns out having a lot of money doesn't make you happy, at least according to Kim Kardashian. She said the parenting struggles, doing it alone, have led to many nights crying herself to sleep, which was surprising to me.
Well, you're dealing with a loose cannon, shall we say, as a father of those kids, and so there's probably a lot that has to be explained in that situation.
Yeah,
and there's no telling what goes on in the background, if text messages or phone calls, or he's constantly doing. I mean, you don't know what with everything that's been going on. You don't know what she's gone through.
Yeah,
and I can absolutely see where that makes total sense. It would be very difficult.
Yeah, and it's also difficult to maybe she's getting to that point where she's lying there and thinking, you know what, I am really a horrible, horrible decision maker when it comes to picking men.
Could be that too.
You know?
Yep.
You think?
Well, how many serious relationships has she been through? And it's always the same. The one marriage didn't last but 3 days or whatever it was. Boyfriends galore, living with this one, the whole Ray J thing. I mean, she's just not a good man picker.
Man Pickers. That's a new show. We'll get that. Yeah, no, I hear you.
That would be sad if I'm thinking about that. If I'm her, going, what is wrong with the way I vet men to be in my life? Now I've made children with this one, and I got to deal with him for the rest of their lives. Till at least they're 18. I got to deal with him. Oh, woe is me, woe is me.
It ain't easy.
But just because you have money and you're rich, it doesn't mean you avoid problems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have the same type of problems. It's just not quite as bad because you don't have to worry about money.
Yeah, I'd rather. Yeah.
You'd rather what?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be sad and have a lot of money than be sad and broke.
Exactly.
That's the current status. But look, I understand all these things. Those are a few things that are now trending.
But you also have to realize that no matter how much money Kim Kardashian has, or that's not as valuable as being a victim in today's culture. So
Makes her a little more relatable, you think?
Oh yeah, it's just just more power comes from victimhood than having all that money and everything. So you can't have people thinking just because you got all that money that you just got it on easy street. You got to let them know, hey, I'm broken too, and this is what's happened in my life. And don't think I'm not sad and victimized over here. I'm just as sad and victimized as you are. Don't think for 1 second I'm not.
That's a good T-shirt. Not broke, but broken. I love that. So those are, again, a few things that are now trending.
Trust me, I didn't win the lottery over the weekend, but if I do, I'm going to let y'all know how nice Easy Street is, because I'm not going to have a problem telling everybody.
Yeah, it sounds sweet.
This is going to be pretty awesome. There is an OnlyFans model. I saw this TikTok over the weekend and thought, maybe this isn't real. Then it popped up a couple other places, so apparently it is. Well, it turns out that one of her subscribers will blow your mind. It is like the nightmare you would never want to live in this scenario. Next.
Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast coming up at 9 Eastern, live on the Ace and TJ app, or download anytime wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ coming up. On your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer. Anytime, anywhere, for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast.
So we were joking around a minute ago about having an OnlyFans account, and there is an insane story, crazy, of a girl in Australia that has an OnlyFans account that we'll get to in a second. But first, the city councilman in Rhode Island. This is going to be bad for your career. You'll get enough of this, and I'll give you the details here after you hear this. Listen.
You've taken in some fentanyl, Matt, and that's we've got to make sure you may not feel it right now, but God forbid something happens to you. We feel terrible about that, I mean, More drugs on the scene.
Yeah, you may have surmised that is a police officer's body cam where he is assisting a city councilman in Rhode Island. The councilman's name is Matthew Riley. He's in Cranston City. They were in the process of arresting him because he'd taken in some fentanyl. He'd passed out in his car with a crack pipe in his hand. Not a good look.
No.
It's going to be hard to explain away.
Yeah, he said he had been clean for a while, but was going through a bad divorce. It's like, man, that must have been really bad when you're doing crack.
Right.
Some people go to a bar
made
or
you
a
do
strip
crack?
club.
Yeah,
That was a bad
I'm
divorce.
going deep into fentanyl and crack.
That's no fun.
I can see where the stress of that, though, would cause him to go back to something like that, or at least be tempting.
Yeah. Did you do crack when you split up?
No.
I didn't think so, but I just wanted to double check.
Yeah. In hindsight, maybe I should have.
They did it at the wedding,
Never crack.
but not at the divorce.
Yeah.
And I just share this because it's such a great story from the weekend. One of those stories that kind of makes you go, you know what, maybe I can accomplish something in life. You know, it's never too late kind of story, because there's a guy named Michael Block. He's a professional. He teaches golf. So he's obviously a very good golfer, but not good enough to be on the PGA Tour. But he got invited to the PGA Championship over the weekend. He played great through 3 rounds. He was 8th going into yesterday's final round, and he had the moment of the day, hands down.
We can dial this trajectory right.
Looks very good. Has he got the distance right?
He made a hole-in-one.
I appreciate you making me cry. I'm living a dream. I'm making sure that I enjoy this moment. I've learned that after my 46 years of life. It's not going to get better than this. There's no way. No chance in hell. And cheers to the 29,000 PGA Tour professionals, PGA professionals in the world. This is for you guys.
So that was after the comments were after he finished playing yesterday. He finished 15th, which gets him invited back next year. I think it also gets him invited to the U.S. Open. And I saw this morning there was a TikTok where he got a phone call immediately following that press conference, and he got invited to play in a tournament this week. They have what they call exemptions, where they can invite certain people to come play. So he had to change his airline tickets. Instead of going home last night, he said, I got to get some clothes and get to Dallas. And they were like, we'll take care of everything. You take care of the airline tickets. Everything else will be here when you get here. People love this guy. He's awesome. It's a great story. And then there's this OnlyFans model. She's in Australia, and she had someone who was a subscriber who spent thousands of dollars on her site. Thousands of dollars. Her name is Talia Madison. And wait until you find out who the man was subscribing.
When I first started my website, I had this customer who was my #1 customer, bought every single thing that I sent him, and she also had a very specific username on the website. And I had someone view my TikTok page with the exact same username, and underneath that it said, from your contacts. I narrowed it down to 6 people, and one of them was my stepdad. I went with my gut feeling and I messaged the website account and I said, I know who this is. And within 2 minutes, got a text from my stepdad saying, hey, Tay, can we talk?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. There are a couple of other TikToks that she put out telling the story, including the fact that before she realized who he was, he would ask for certain things. Like, what is your... do things I want you to go pose like in your bedroom or whatever. And he was asking for specific places in the house they shared. And her mom, when she found out, she went to her mom and told her mom about it. And her mom has divorced him, or is in the process of divorcing him.
Wow.
But yeah.
And he's the only bad guy in this scenario to them?
What do you mean, TJ?
I mean, she's no angel.
I don't know that she's saying she is, but isn't it super creepy?
She's like, how creepy is he?
Well,
I'm charging money to do vile things to myself on OnlyFans, and then he wanted to see it.
He shouldn't want to see it if he's her stepdad.
And if she's his stepdaughter, she shouldn't want to do it.
Well,
That's what you got there.
Mm-hmm.
She also lost a lot of money from this because he was clearly paying a lot of money.
Yeah, thousands. She made thousands of dollars. Good point, Rob. This has cost her a lot of money.
Did he help raise her, or was she?
That I don't know.
Was she
I would
an
want to know
adult?
that too.
Yeah,
It makes a big difference if she's already an adult when he married her mom.
Yeah, she didn't. None of the things that I saw gave any background as far as how long he had been with her mom and all that kind of stuff.
How dare he, though? Seriously, just come in bringing creepiness into an otherwise wholesome environment.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Terrible, terrible guy.
There is something that Tech D Rob told us about a long time ago, and we laughed about it, but we were confronted with it face to face the other night. And he's not going to change. And he doesn't even have a good reason why. Next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up. Here's what's new today from the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Extra Funny Podcast is live at 9 Eastern. That's available on our YouTube channel, Ace TJ TV. It's also available anywhere you download podcasts. And then at 11, live, it's TJ and Jody's House. That's live on our YouTube channel, live on our app, and then you can download that podcast anywhere. And of course, you can watch all this stuff all throughout the day on our YouTube channel, Ace TJ TV. Like and subscribe. Friday night, we had an Ace and TJ live show. It's Extra Funny Live at a great place in Cornelius, North Carolina, called H2 Public House. And thanks to everybody that showed up, because you were great, and we were all in awe of Tech D Rob. Something he's told us about before. I think he's mentioned it before, hasn't he, Riggins? Mm-hmm. Regarding his yard and the fact that Rob refuses to mow grass. And Rob's girlfriend, Meredith, was there. And Rob admitted that he's just not going to do it. Meredith said it takes about 9 minutes to mow the yard. And Rob said, don't care. I'm not doing it. And Meredith said, I know, that's why I have to mow the grass. And it was a little chippy for a minute, kind of back and forth. And Rob just eventually said, I'm not doing it. And you stand by that, Rob. You refuse to ever mow the grass.
Correct.
And your rationale is what?
I don't want to do it, so I'm not gonna. I'd rather pay somebody if I have to.
Just because you hate it that much, you're not allergic to grass or anything. You just hate mowing.
I hate it.
Okay.
Because it makes him sweat, he says. That's why he hates it.
I don't want to be outside that long.
9 minutes.
It's too much.
Too long to be outside.
It was 8.
Huh?
I thought it was 8.
Maybe it was 8. But you got to get the lawnmower out.
That's true.
And maybe it needs gas or something.
It's electric mower.
Yeah.
Plug it in.
And Robin said he will be inside the house, look out the window, and there she is mowing. He's like, oh, good, she's getting that yard mowed.
No, I don't look out the window. What are you talking about?
You missed a spot. But what I took away from that was that she was not a willing participant. She was not happy about the situation that's set up right now.
You gathered that also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would like it if somebody else would mow the yard or assist her in the mowing of the yard.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to happen. And at least Rob's straight up about it. I'm not doing it ever. He would rather pay somebody. When you lived, you and your cousin lived together, y'all paid somebody to mow your yard?
Yeah.
And that was smaller than the yard you have now, right?
No, the yard we have now is smaller.
Oh, small. Okay.
Yeah.
But the other one wasn't big at all.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. The whole yard was probably about as big as this room.
Maybe.
Maybe a little. Yeah.
And it was your cousin's friend or somebody that did it and gave you a price break on it, right?
It was somebody in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Somebody that did my mom and my sister's lawn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Another interesting thing is it didn't help when Meredith is in the audience, like shaking her head, like, yeah, he doesn't do this. Her best friend is there or whatever, and she's nodding her head too and like shooting daggers through her eyes at Rob.
Yeah.
If I'm Rob, I'm like, I don't ever want to see that chick again. I don't need her on my back. I already got you on my back. I don't want to talk to her. I don't know who. I'm sure she's a very nice person, but I don't need you ragging on me.
But as Riggins has said before, Rob's a boss. He's like, I'm still not doing it.
Yeah.
So what is that thing in your life? You're not doing it, whatever it is. Maybe you just refuse to empty the dishwasher. Maybe you refuse to use emojis. Maybe you refuse to go to the pick up your kids at school in that pickup line because you're not sitting in that pickup line at school. It's too long.
Alexis won't eat tuna out of a can.
I won't. I'll never do it. That's gross.
I'll never
just
do
because
it.
it seems gross.
Yeah, it's like cat food.
And it's nothing against tuna because you like tuna. It's just
No, I like ahi tuna.
like
I like tuna in the
out-
States.
Yeah, tuna out of the can.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Not happening.
Fish in a can that doesn't really expire. That's weird. That's just weird.
So at the Ace TJ show, what is it? The one thing you just are never going to do? I'm not doing it. We'll get your answers next.
From the Calotrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calotrin at acetj.com/weight loss. Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Shots fired at Take D Rob in just a second. But again, Ace TJ Prime is our new project. If you have been a part of the Ace and TJ Share Funny family, Ace TJ Prime, it's kind of come that you need to get signed up for Ace TJ Prime because now there's a chance to win all kinds of cool stuff. Get rewards points. We gave out, did a cool thing Friday night at the live show with rewards points. Your first chance to get rewards points with Ace TJ Prime. You get to be the first invited to events and free tickets to events and that kind of stuff. And then there's Ace TJ Prime Plus, which is a paid level that gets you a lot of cool stuff. A lot of extra bonus material and different shows that we're doing, in addition to the Ace and TJ show and our regular podcast for everybody. So there's lots of stuff happening with Ace TJ Prime and Ace TJ Prime Plus. So get signed up, acetj.com/prime, and you can be a part of that.
Bonus.
There is, we were talking about the fact that Tech D Rob admitted the other night, not mowing the yard. I'm just not doing it. And his girlfriend mows it. And we were wondering, what do you say? And you're like, I'm not doing it. Like Reagan's had a great example. Alexis just says, refusing to eat tuna out of a can. Not doing it, ever. It seems gross and weird.
Gross. Yeah.
Karina says, I refuse to be that woman whose man will not mow the grass, especially if I am doing everything else around the house. That is one lazy and disrespectful man, and I refuse to be a woman that puts up with that.
Ooh.
But how does she know that Meredith is doing everything else to do around the house?
Well, that's what I was saying. Rob does other stuff around the house.
What does he do?
He said he washes and dries his own clothes.
His own clothes.
And
Well, I'm glad that he does that.
And the towels.
The towels, and I do the
towels.
dishes whenever they need to be done.
And he cooks.
And
Well, I try to cook.
And she won't eat what he cooks.
I made quesadillas.
Let's see. Stephanie has a good one. I refuse to walk into a gas station to pay for gas or retrieve the receipt.
I do the same thing.
Me too.
See, cashier means I'll drive on fumes to another gas station if I have to. Been there. Man, that thing pops up and says, see, cashier? Like, nope.
Pass.
I'm like, cancel transaction.
No sale.
I refuse to watch Game of Thrones. It might be a good show. Just got so tired of hearing about it all the time that I've grown to hate it. Never seen a moment of it, but has grown to hate it. Back to the see cashier thing. Have you ever gone, like, that made you just try to drive to a different pump at that particular gas station?
Yep.
I've done that before. And then that's when I found out. I told you that one time I went to 3 different pumps and was like, screw it, I'm not getting gas here. And then I realized, oh, this other guy couldn't get gas either. And when I went inside, she goes, you got to hit something on there. You got to hit like number 2. So that makes no sense. It doesn't say that when you post this. Nobody out here can get gas. I know it's messed up. So then they sent somebody outside to go along and tell everybody how to get gas because nobody was able to get gas because it was messed up. Not me, but my husband, Angelia says, refuses to wash the silverware.
Huh?
He has never in 25 years of marriage washed silverware. He claims his hands are too big.
I like that.
My hand's too big to get all the little bits of food off of there.
Look at these things.
Ashley said, I refuse to go through the reptile section at any zoo. She just won't,
it's gross.
Won't do it. Let's see. Brian says, I will fold all the laundry in the house except for wife and daughter's unmentionables.
See, to me, that's reasonable. For some reason. Yeah,
To not fold your wife and daughter's.
Yeah, I'm not going to go through your panties and stuff.
Why not?
You're an adult. They're in the wash. They're your family. Just fold them up.
That's your business.
Fold my panties right now.
Fold my panties.
It's different when you phrase it that way, Alexis. Yeah. Oh, my panties. Mike says, I refuse to go to the office. I refuse to waste time and money on commuting, office clothes, etc. Well, I guess if you work from home,
Yeah,
that
if you
works
don't
for
have
you.
to.
You know, big deal.
You think he looks like a slob all the time?
I would.
Just laying around.
Maybe it's just T-shirts and basketball shorts a lot when he's working.
And that differs from what I said. How?
Well, I mean, he can get up and take a shower and put on like a clean T-shirt and clean shorts to get his job done. That doesn't mean he looks like a slob. I don't think. I mean, I don't think everybody that puts on a clean T-shirt and basketball shorts looks like a slob.
Well, they don't look neat.
Sure they can. You can look neat wearing them.
Yeah, if you tuck the shirt tail into the basketball shorts.
No, come on.
You have a fitted shirt and
Fancy
some
it up.
basketball. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, there you go, Ace.
I'm okay with that.
Fitted shirt and some nice basketball
Yeah.
shorts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
some
I mean,
nice
you might as
kicks.
well
Are
be
you kidding me? That's
good
an
for-
outfit right there. You swaggy.
Oh, it's an outfit. Yeah, there's a difference in being swaggy, though, and being neat.
You can be swaggy neat.
Thank you,
Okay,
Alexis.
I stand corrected.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
The CEO of Warner Brothers was asked to speak to the graduating college class, and it did not go well. We've got the audio to accompany it coming up in Now Trending.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next. The Extra Funny podcast is live every weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Ace and TJ app and available anytime where you get podcasts. Now, more Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Not to mention every podcast that we do, you can get on Ace TJ Prime Plus commercial free. The entire regular morning show, the Extra Funny podcast, the TJ and Jody's House, the Meaningful Meeting, the Nerd News, the Live from the Living Room, all of them commercial free. If you're on the subscription of Ace TJ Prime Plus, also my conservative show called the TJ Ritchie Show is commercial free. Although that gets pretty difficult sometimes when you're just one person talking. But hey, it's there. So what's the best way to go sign up for that, Riggins?
acetj.com/prime.
Prime.
Yep.
Do the time.
Prime time.
Okay, a few weeks ago, I told you about my Aunt Tina, who lives in Jonesboro, Louisiana. She is my mom's younger sister. And my grandparents adopted Aunt Tina when she was tiny baby. They already had it lined up with the adoption agency that the mother-to-be was going to have her baby up for adoption. And they were ready right there when the baby was born. It was one of those situations where they take the baby home from the hospital. So they told her when she was young that she was adopted. They didn't try to keep that from her on up into her years. And so she always wondered about her birth mother and if she had any other siblings and things like that. And up until recently in Louisiana, all of that information had to stay locked. And somehow some regulation passed that they were able to go back and look and see where the person was or whatnot. So she found her birth mother and found out that her birth mother had died, but she has 3 siblings. And so she looked them up, found them. 2 of them live in Nashville and 1 lives in Shreveport, Louisiana. So she has met them and stricken up a great relationship with them.
That's awesome.
My Aunt Tina and Uncle Robin, who are, they're small town country folk from central Louisiana. They don't never have traveled a lot and go on vacations and stuff like that. But since she's met them, they've been to Nashville a couple of times and made a week out of it each time, visiting for holidays. I think they went for Mother's Day, and I think they're going back again. And, they're just living a new life surrounded by an excuse to go visit this long lost family in another part of the country. So it's really worked out nice for them. But what if it hadn't? You get it built up in your mind. I'm about to meet my long lost mother, and you show up and she is the biggest bee that you've ever been around.
That'd be so sad.
Or either she's really nice, but she's a con artist and steals, money from you.
Oh man.
Or cons some money out of you. That would really be bad.
You're right, though. You never think about it not going well because it seems like if they agree to meet, then they want to see you, so everybody would be into it.
And we had a story a couple of weeks ago where a woman found her long lost dad, and he ended up accosting her when they went to meet. Remember, they were doing drugs together, and he ended up doing things he shouldn't have done to his daughter.
Damn, they're doing
That
drugs
was bad.
the first time they meet up.
Yeah. But I'm not talking about anything that serious. But you met up with your long lost dad, and then the next thing you know, he's got you driving a getaway car. He said, "Wait for me. I'm just going to run in the store real quick." And then he comes and jumps in the car and says, "Go, go, go, go." And you end up, being an accomplice to a crime.
Oh, man.
Or just you got there and the person was just like your long lost parent was just such a loser. You're just so thankful that they're not the ones that raised you.
Yeah. That's how I picture
it. Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. And my aunt made sure to tell them from the very beginning, look, I don't begrudge, your mother anything, because I had a great life. I had two wonderful parents, and I've got a great family that raised me. I just want to get to know y'all now.
And the other three all knew each other growing up, right?
Yeah.
She was the only one that was given up for adoption, so the other three were all together as a family growing up.
Yeah, and they're older than she is.
Okay.
And I think that my aunt's father was... I'm not sure about this, but I think he was married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think. And so that's why she'd
be given up for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Drama.
But I mean, thank God that happened.
Yeah, I mean, she had a great life.
And like I said, she ended up with a great family. Your grandparents were great people.
Right. And imagine what her life would be if she had never had me as a nephew.
One can only wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't have to know what that is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine
I can't.
the void we'd all have in our lives?
No.
So has it ever happened where you found a long lost relative or an adoptive parent, whatever would you call it, a biological parent that had given you up for adoption, and it just was not a good situation? Like y'all didn't gel at all, or this person tried to take advantage of you in some way or another, immediately wanted to move in with you. And, you're married, you got your own kids, and then you meet your long lost mom. And she says, "Oh, if I could just get a place to stay for a month."
The reason I came to
So
see
glad.
you is because I need a place to stay.
All right, so send us a DM on social medias, or just go to the front pages and leave a comment at the Ace TJ Show.
Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast coming up at 9 Eastern, live on the Ace and TJ app, or download anytime wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ coming up.
Just say that. And then our podcasts from this show, and that's all on the YouTubes and everything. Always something big up there. All right, so it's a simple question. When did you find a long lost relative? Like maybe you were adopted and you looked them up, or something along those lines, and it didn't turn out to be great. we always hear, found their long lost siblings, and now they're, one's donating a kidney to the other. Always a happy ending. But when did it not end so happily? This woman said, "Don't use my name." She said, "I never knew my mom had any kids before me until a woman contacted me on Facebook one day and said she was my sister. She gave me all the details of her adoption, and so I asked my stepdad. My mom had died a couple of years prior. And he said that my mom had told him she had given up a baby when she was very young." So the story kind of checked out. She says, "So I invited my quote-unquote sister over to meet, and she was really weird acting. She seemed scared and freaked out the whole time. At one point, she went into the bathroom and stayed in there forever. I thought she was sick or something. Right after that, she left. Later, I found that she had flipped my bathroom looking for what I guess would be prescription medications.
Oh.
Of course, I had nothing like that in there, and maybe what took her so long, she was searching and searching. And then when she realized there was nothing there for her, she left."
It's a good scam. I'm your long lost sister. I need to use your bathroom. Look for pills.
So you think they weren't long lost sisters at all?
I don't think so.
You don't?
No.
See, I thought that they were, and
no, that's like.
And then she saw that. Well, I'm gonna go over. That'd be a reason I can hang out with my sister. And if my sister's like I am, she's probably got some pills or something. But I didn't think of that though. She may not have even been.
They just stay all day on social media, like, "Hey, by the way, I'm your long lost. Can I come over? I
Just as a way to get in somebody's house.
Opioid addicts.
Oh, God, how
that's
sorry.
a tough.
Yeah. See, my aunt, when she did it, she exchanged pictures with her siblings. Like you could see on Facebook. Yeah. And she said she picked out one picture and sent to them and said, "As you can see, I think we have family resemblance." And her older sister and my aunt look almost just alike. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty. So I wonder if that happened too. It's like, you don't even look like any of us, or you look like you could be in our family.
The way she's acting, the moment she walks in, she's acting all weird. Mm-hmm. Like that kind of tipped me off.
But you know what? She'd have to know something though, because for the stepdad to be able to say, "Well, she did tell me that she gave a baby up for adoption at some point." I mean,
maybe he was in on it.
Maybe he was in on it. Right.
And instead of just going into the bathroom himself, since he's part of the family, he had somebody else come in.
That way they'd never blame it on him.
Exactly.
Dang.
Exactly.
Can I use your bathroom? Sure, the guest bathroom. No, I want to use your bathroom.
May have been looking for bath salts or anything.
Something. Dang. That's awful.
I don't think I would be excited about that if somebody find out I had a long lost sibling. Like, it's okay. It's cool. I'm not really interested in meeting.
You don't think
that
you would
make you a bad person? I don't know.
You wouldn't want to meet them?
Not really.
I'd be like, I've got a brother I'm really close to. So.
I had a great family.
But then again, I guess it would be his brother too, so he might want to be.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Well, it's different for you, Ace, though.
What is?
Because you got family asking you for money all the time. It might be. You can't add another mouth to feed.
Good point. I didn't think of it that way.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
I just thought of it that I love my family and I don't need anybody else. I'm good.
Well, as we like to do, we keep up with how the relationship between Alexis and her dapper Dominican boyfriend Jay is proceeding. How is it growing? A big step is going to be made this weekend. A big step. I'd say things are starting to get pretty serious. We'll let you know what that is coming up next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next. Share Funny is now a little bit extra. Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast live every weekday on the Ace and TJ app or anytime wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So Alexis started dating a dapper Dominican gentleman named Jay. How many months ago did y'all start dating?
August.
August. So how many months ago was that?
I don't know.
9.
9 months ago. You've been actually dating for 9 months. Wow. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, what a big deal that is. Young love, am I right? Moved in together how many months ago?
A month ago.
1 month ago. You're living together a month. Mm-hmm. So every time there's a major step or something about to happen that would be a next step in a relationship, we have to highlight it so we can follow along and see how it turns out, right? What is happening this weekend?
So we are taking Jay's mom and his sister down to meet my mom down in South Carolina. So the future mom-in-laws are going to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you both referring to them as the future mom-in-laws?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know where this is going. We've both talked about it. It's very clear.
But you're not engaged.
Not engaged.
Right.
But that can't be far away now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. We talk about it all the time.
Really? Do
Yeah,
you
and
think you'll be
plans.
engaged before your 1 year anniversary?
I don't think so, but I
Okay.
think that by next year, yes.
All right, so your mom is she, you think, going to massage them when they get there?
Hope not.
See, that's what I'm trying to get at. Your mom, when she met Jay, she gave him a massage.
Yeah, that's how they met.
Like full on, in his underwear massage.
He still talks about it. About my mom's hands.
Right.
And I hated it.
And were you sitting in there with him,
I
you
was.
said?
Yeah.
As much as they tried to get you to leave the room, you wouldn't.
I was like, nope, I'm not
Your
leaving.
mom's hands.
So you don't know whether your mom's going to massage his mom?
I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. Like, if she explains to his mom what she does and offers it, then that's different. But I don't want it to, like, they just met and she's like, let me take you to my office. That's weird.
But it was set up pretty much by the time you and Jay got down there for him to meet her the first time.
Yeah.
She said, I want to give him a massage.
But because this is his mom and his sister, like, it's, I hope she's just not going to do that.
Now, what will your mom do? Will she do anything differently with their arrival? Will she have, fancier dishes set out, things like that?
My mom's a great host. She loves hosting dinner parties and all that. So she's going to go all out. And his mom is too, because she loves to cook. So she was already talking about what she's going to cook and what she's going to bring down. It's going to be a whole thing. And she's like, me and your mom are going to become friends and we're going to go maybe vacation together, because she knows my mom was just on a cruise.
Yeah.
And Jay was telling me when we were leaving, he's like, my mom's going to be a bad influence on your mom. So.
But does she know that your mom is Jehovah's Witness and doesn't do a lot of devilish things?
That's what I said. I was like, my mom's like not going to waver in her faith.
Because your mom doesn't even drink, does she?
No, she drinks.
She does?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
My mom has wine every night.
Was that not wavering in the Jehovah's Witness
No,
faith?
because you can't get drunk.
Oh, okay.
You can have drink. You just can't get drunk.
Okay. Yeah. So, your mom wants her to bring food to the situation?
No, my mom would. She's the type that's like, I'm going to handle everything. But
Okay,
Jay's
that's what I'm
mom is
saying.
also the type that's like, no, you don't come somewhere empty-handed.
Right. So that might be a clash.
No.
Strong women.
Yeah.
I already know they're
I
going to
told you this was my deal. You don't bring food to my deal. I cook for you.
Well, you'd have the Dominican Republic and El Salvador clash in there.
Yeah, they're already at war.
They're not at war. Stop starting
Those two
rumors.
countries are at war.
No, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
All right. So, what about his sister?
What about his...
She gonna get a massage?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I can see my mom telling them about what she does and being like, do you guys want me to give you a massage? And then it turning into that.
Yeah, and the fact that they're from New York City and your mom lives out in the country in South Carolina milking goats and stuff, that may not go over so well.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck with that, though.
Well, thank you.
It is a big step. Are you nervous at all?
No, I'm excited.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. Just eat a gummy that day.
Yep.
TJ Show.
A few extras.
We'll do Now Trending coming up next.
Missed part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up. From the Calitrin Studios, Calitrin is the safe and effective way to lose weight. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast.
The Ace and TJ Baby Registry. Learn more, acetj.com/baby. Help out 2 great causes with any amount of money. We would greatly appreciate it. acetj.com/baby. Go do it. There's a woman on TikTok. Her name is Eloise. And she is just one of the 235,000 people that the CDC claims are hurt in bathrooms annually. 235,000 people hurt every year in the bathroom. Now, my oldest brother, slipped in the tub a few years ago, and he's still dealing with the damage from that. I mean, it was ugly. But she didn't slip and fall like my brother did. She was taking a bath in her home with her family there. She's upstairs taking a bath. Her family is downstairs in the living room. The bathtub comes crashing through the ceiling into the living room.
She's in the bathtub and it comes through into the living room.
She's totally naked. She said it was like, the scariest thing ever to not only fall through the ceiling, but then now you're just in front of your family and you're naked.
Hello.
Hi.
And you're hurting.
Well, she probably knocked out her breath and everything else.
She's fine now, but at the time, she was really banged up. And a lot of people in the comments were saying, oh, this is a new fear unlocked. Like I never considered crashing through the ceiling in a bathtub in front of my family. That's pretty bad. But I guess it happened. So be careful in the bathroom. Ace and TJ's new fear unlocked. What's something you recently came to fear? By way of social media, or you heard about it on the Ace and TJ show. What is the new fear you have that you're deathly afraid of? Like for me, that live streamer that's just been like walking into people's houses and then he grabbed that elderly woman's dog and just ran off. That's my new fear. Is like somebody just walking up and trying to steal my dog. Now, I'm not an elderly lady, but you can make the argument I'm very similar to an elderly lady. So if anybody tried to steal my dog, now I'm like on guard. Because that would be the worst thing you could do to me. So what is it? It's my worst nightmare. Ace and TJ's new fear unlocked. Something you just learned about on social media or on the Ace and TJ show. It's a new fear for you. We've already got one answer, and I know exactly what they're talking about. It is terrifying. But we want to hear yours too. At the Ace TJ show. We'll get your answers coming up next.
From the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Go subscribe to the Ace and TJ show on YouTube. It's Ace TJ TV. It's totally free. Hit the little notification bell so you never miss when new content is posted. We got the entire show up there every day, plus the extra funny podcast, plus ton of stuff. Ace TJ TV. Go subscribe. We're talking about new fears being unlocked. There was a woman that was taking a bath and she crashed through the ceiling in her home and landed on the floor of the living room in front of her entire family. A lot of people said, "Oh my God, I had no idea that could even happen." That's a new fear for me. Congratulations, woohoo! Ace TJ TV, what are you now afraid of? Something recently you discovered, whether it's on social media or hearing a story on this show, and you go, "Oh my God, that is terrifying. I hope that never happens to me." For me, it's that guy that keeps walking into people's homes. The live streamer guy in the UK, I think it is. He's walking into people's homes, and then he stole an elderly woman's dog, and he's just harassing people.
Yesterday, he did a library and just started walking in and picked up a book and just started tearing it up in front of the librarian.
What? Correct.
Like, it's amazing that guy hasn't been arrested or something, but he's just like a menace.
Or shot.
Yeah, beaten to a pulp.
I know everybody says, try that in Texas, try it here. So what is a new fear for you that has just been unlocked? And this is my favorite one because I know exactly what she's talking about. Amber said, a tire coming off of another car on the highway and launching my Kia Soul into the air. And I thought, that's right. I did just see a video. This was a big viral video, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Somebody in Los Angeles was driving down the highway and a tire comes off of a pickup truck. And the person driving the Kia Soul runs over that tire. And the thing goes 15 feet in the air, flips over. I mean, it's like the craziest.
And the driver of the Kia Soul was right next to the car when having, so they had no chance. There was never a chance for them to react to avoid it in any way. There was nothing they could do about it.
And then the tire hits the car again at the very end.
It's like something out of a movie.
Like backspin on it.
Yeah.
Were they okay? Did they survive?
I think so.
But I'm with you, Reagan. The first thing I thought when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that video. Yes, I get that. If you have a Kia Soul, I get where that would freak you out.
I always think of stuff like that because of that one movie.
Final Destination?
Yeah, Final Destination of the logs coming into your car.
Somebody else said that. And I think that might be like a uniquely millennial thing.
Yeah.
Because that movie was kind of when we were young, but everybody said like driving behind a log truck
I always
and
think
picturing that log come flying off and going through your windshield.
Just the other day,
Amanda
Amanda and I were behind a guy, and he had he didn't have a truck like a mini SUV thing, but he had all this wood sticking out the back of it, and you could see they were just holding it in the front seat on their arms. And she goes, and she literally said, "Final Destination, get out from behind this guy." Like, yep, okay, gotcha.
And whenever they have those cars too, I always just think of a car like coming loose and just coming at you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on the loader.
Yeah.
Big car haulers. I think a lot of people would say like the laying in the tanning bed kind of thing, getting locked in there by a killer.
I think of that, the few times I'm in a tanning bed, every time.
Yeah.
Like, what if someone comes in and zip ties this thing shut? How would I get out of here?
Yeah. My one is the amount of videos you see of people's doorbell cameras when they're walking out to their car and they don't notice the bear that's like 5 feet away from them. And you watch it and you're going, oh my God, they don't see it. And the bear is just sitting there, stone cold, and the person is walking back and forth in front of the bear and they just don't see it. I go, oh my God, while I would love to have a bear encounter, not that way, not in my neighborhood.
When you walk out to your car now, do you look every day? Do you look for the bear, or something? Do you take a look around as you walk outside?
Terrified there's a bear.
I have a new fear as well. I don't walk around in the dark in the house anymore since there was a snake under the sink.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had a snake in your house.
I usually just like when I would get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I would just not turn on any lights. But now I have to see where I'm walking just to be safe.
Yeah, I forgot you got a snake infestation.
Whoa, let's not call it that, please.
Wasn't it found one? You're gonna find more.
Yeah. Wasn't it more than one?
No, there's just a one so far.
And then Rob was in his recliner, knight in shining armor. She says, "Rob, there's a snake," and he has to wait for his electric recliner to propel him out.
Hold on, I'm coming.
I'll be right there.
Almost done.
Fast as I can go.
He's a prince. Spring is almost over. So you still got a few weeks left to do spring cleaning, but not everybody's going to do it for the most ridiculous reason ever. I'm going to tell you what it is coming up next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Go sign up for Ace TJ Prime. It's totally free, and it's the only way to get invited to our upcoming live events. We've got another live event coming up in June, June 8th, and the only way to be there is to be a member of Ace TJ Prime. Don't worry, it's totally free.
This is at a brand new place. We've never done it before.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome.
acetj.com/prime. Go get signed up. We also have a paid tier subscription where you get commercial-free audio and video of the Ace and TJ show, plus TJ's political podcast, the newly announced Ace and TJ Old Stuff podcast, where we go into the vault, acetj.com/prime. So how many more weeks? Spring is officially over once Memorial Day rolls around, which is in a week.
Well, it's not technically. Technically, the summer begins in June.
Yeah,
we're
but
like 2 weeks into June or something like that. But
it's
I
the
always
official-
thought Memorial Day to Labor Day is what you consider to be summer.
yeah. So if you haven't done any spring cleaning yet, time is limited. But it turns out 90% of Americans say they get anxious when cleaning their home. 90% of Americans get anxious when cleaning their home. So, not to agree with TJ all the time, but I think he hit the nail on the head when he said a few months ago that young people just seem to get anxious over everything.
Yeah. Everybody under 40's got anxiety.
But 90% of Americans, it sounds like they're including older Americans as well.
How do we define what being anxious when you clean your home, meaning what?
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, because the research that they're quoting here makes no comment on anxiety. It just says most people cut corners when they're cleaning in their house. The worst things to clean are the refrigerator, the toilets, and I don't know, behind like the laundry, the washing machine. Hard to reach areas.
But I think anything nowadays that is not described as pleasurable is described as anxious or full of anxiety, creating anxiety.
Yeah.
Any kind of negative feeling you have is either toxic or anxious.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
more dramatic that way.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that you pick up a Swiffer and it gives you anxiety. If that's true, I mean, maybe you really need to seek some sort of professional help.
You're just cleaning your house. It's got to be done. I don't know.
Yeah. But Alexa says she gets down and she likes scrub
to the ground, so it's not as bad.
I was about to say,
she doesn't even have to squat.
It's easier.
they're at eye level. It's fine.
Cleaning the toilet, bathtub, all that stuff never bothered me. I hate baseboards because it just, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm 6'4". It's just everything seems so much harder to get to. You know, I don't know. It always is a hassle.
Yeah. TJ said he hates, is it scrubbing the toilets?
No, emptying the dishwasher.
Emptying the dishwasher. He'd rather scrub toilets.
Yeah, with my pillowcase.
Oh, it's a little dramatic. But the other night we learned Rob's girlfriend Meredith said she'd be happy if he just like vacuumed every once in a while.
She vacuums too much.
She vacuums too much.
How often does she vacuum again?
Like once a day, sometimes.
Well, stop making messes so she won't have to vacuum.
But they got dogs shedding everywhere.
Well, easy fix there.
Get rid of the dogs.
Yeah.
That's not a good solution, Rob. That's.
It sounds like the greatest solution to me.
Well, I understand that, but you're still going to eat bagels and leave the everything bagel seasoning on the floor, and she's got to vacuum up.
I've give up the everything bagels.
Stop making messes.
From the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss.